Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Shark Brewing Company. Well, and I'm here to try out my American Pale Ale. So, obviously, on my other channel, I did a video on the home brewing. So, go check them out. Check me out, I should say. And there's a short video of my brew day. So, check that out. I might put a link in here. So, for those who are watching it later, you can click on that link. So, internet, welcome. So basically, it's going to kind of go briefly through the brew day, whatnot, and obviously, and check it out. So, yeah, I basically the name of the beer is called Back to the Shark. Yeah, it is reference to Back to the Future, kind of. But basically, this was kind of like I went back to the beginnings, I'll call it, of my home brewing experience, and obviously I brewed a pale ale because normally most people do that. So I was like, hey, you know what? Also, I was like, well, I'm gonna go back to the also. Then I obviously changed it to Back to the Shark. So that's why where the name came from. So kind of I like my little logo that I created or AI created. So, but I'm not gonna be selling this, so I can use the AI. So, but yeah, so this is American Pale Ale. It was a 3-gallon batch. It was a brew in a bag, and I was using it on my anvil foundry. So, and I brewed this on March 14th, and I basically kegged it on the 28th. So this is what 2 weeks later. So, so yeah, so I basically used just 2-row and Crystal 60, kind of like it's kind of mirroring. I'm gonna kind of mirror the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale to a point. I changed the hops up and the hop schedule a little bit up this time around. So, but yeah, so I used the 2-row, and so you get that. The appearance is I'm kind of you can't really. I need to. You kind of get the better color there. And yeah, it's probably I'm gonna say I wish I had a can of Sierra Nevada. I didn't really want to buy a 12-pack of it, but because I got so much beer now. But yeah, I was trying to. So I think it's pretty damn close to it. It might be a tad bit lighter, but I think I'm good with that. Maybe I might put a little bit more of this Crystal 60 next time. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, then I so for the hops, so usually Sierra Nevada uses, in theory, uses all Cascade hops. Obviously, I know they use the whole cone and product process, so that's a little bit different. What I did for the bittering hop, I use what's called CTZ. So it's Columbus, Tomahawk, and Zeus. Kind of, it's like I guess a hybrid of the two, of the three, I should say. So that was for the bittering hop. That was at the 60-minute. It was a 60-minute boil, and so basically that gives you those hops. That hop gives you an earthy citrus. I want to say aroma, taste probably. I didn't put that in my notes. Then obviously I had 2 more additions of hops, so those were the Cascade hops. So usually there's 3 more in I think Sierra Nevadas. And I kind of brought it down, but I think because I was still using about the same amount of the IBUs I was aiming for. Still hit 45 IBUs. So obviously the TZZs would have a little bit more alpha acid, so it's probably going to be a little bit different if I were to do a side by side with the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. I used Safe Ale US 05. It's just a clean beer and hop, so I might change when I brew this again. I'll probably get something closer to the Sierra Nevada strain. I mean Chico strain, but the US05 is I think it's pretty close to it. I did use my tap water. I filtered it, carbon filtered it. I used a Camden tablet in it, and I collected that 3 days before, so definitely, hopefully, all the chlorine got, I'll say chlorine got out of it. ASMO got out of it. So, and I also put some gypsum and calcium chloride. So I put a little bit more gypsum in it, kind of give the hops a little bit more of a pop. I did because my pH was, according to Beer Smith, was high, so I put a little bit of lactic acid, and I probably could have left it out because when I took my reading, it was 5.15. Yeah, 5.15. So it was a little bit lower, but all good. So, but yeah, I mashed in at 150 degrees Fahrenheit. I did do a mash out at 170. I did this. Come to find out, this was a little bit. I didn't have enough. I didn't put enough water in it, and it was like a half gallon difference. So, because basically, because I think at the end I did top up. So yeah, so I was a half gallon short because I was trying to keep everything tight, kind of thing, and I didn't need to. So that was kind of like a learning curve there. So yeah, so I was a little short on the pre-boil, but I didn't top up until I think at the end. Yeah, because basically, according to my notes here, I made it the different. I forgot it was like half a quart. I mean, it was very little I had to add to it. So to get up to my 3 gallon mark in the fermenter. So then I fermented at 67 degrees Fahrenheit for 14 days. So I think my original gravity was 1.054, but where I kind of wanted it. So then at the end, and I have to say I pitched the yeast directly to the wort. So anyways, after 2 weeks, my final gravity was 1.008. So that gave me I was looking around for a 5.6 range up and down. I mean, 5.5, 5.7. This turned out to be a 6.0% beer. Going, okay, can I kind of maybe slide it? Now, if I were to enter this in a competition, I would be kind of, I hope I would try 2. I'll probably put it in the pale ale, and because I think it still fits. It's just like right at the upper limits. But I might also put it in the IPA just to see kind of how they would go for it. But yeah, and yeah, I think for this, I mean, everything kind of went smoothly. I didn't really have any issues because, like I said, only issues I had was the amount of water I used was a little bit lowered, but I didn't have any crazy issues with. Because usually at the anvil, I'm always having one thing in each batch. I'm going like, okay, so that's why I'm kind of taking more detailed notes. So obviously, in my little journal, I'm taking lots of notes. And some of it I didn't really tell you guys, but as I say, I'm trying to tighten everything up, get this thing squared. So I'm just like, I'm brewing beer, kind of just what it is, what some, but because I think nothing really else to say. So, but anyway, so obviously, when I poured it, obviously I had a lot of head. That's why. So, and also the head dissipated. So, but the color wise, I'm kind of liking it. It kind of reminds me of, it's nice and clear because obviously you can see the garage door through the glass. So I'm say that I might put an ounce more of this Crystal 60, but I would maybe not. So I'm gonna put 1 ounce of 60. No, and then that color is, I'm gonna say, is good. I'm actually happy with it, but I would have to put two. If I can get a can of that I'm Sierra Nevada, I would put it together and kind of see where it kind of, because I want to get my color close to that, because I want to be like these guys. Obviously, the hops are not, but so so the aroma, obviously, I do smell the hops, so yay. I think I'm getting that citrus because basically the two hops should be earthy, citrus, and a floral. I am kind of, I want to say I'm getting some kind of dank, not really, but resiny. But it's real slight. I think it's getting a kind of a citrus. Maybe it's the floral, from the Cascade. Because I said I did put those in like towards the end because I wanted just the more of the aroma of the Cascade, not the flavor, which I would probably do like my next time. Put a little bit more Cascade in it. But yeah, so definitely I am smelling the hops, so that's a good sign, especially for my nose. I don't really, my nose is not very good for smelling. So, guys, to me, it's like a candy. I'm getting a candy aroma. That's what I'm kind of. So it could be the floral, citrus. So, but yeah. So obviously he's been sitting out for a little bit, for a couple minutes. So anyways, cheers everybody. So let's give it a try. Definitely get that. Yeah, I'm getting that candy flavor, and I'm smelling. So I wonder if it's because I'm trying to think of what, because the CTC's hops are a little bit older, so they might have lost some of its punch. But so I think I'm getting a lot of the floral out of it. Floral, maybe citrus. But yeah, I mean, it's flavor wise, I'm going. It's kind of. I would expect it to be, since it attenuated very well. I would have said it should have been a little bit drier. I am getting a kind of a little bit of a sweetness to it. As I said, it gives you that candy take when we get from the candy taste. I said it kind of. I want to get another glass and kind of see, because obviously it's been sitting out for 20 minutes, so I'm not getting any lingering. It's very any lingering like you do like an IPA, American IPA, or whatever. It's not really lingering as much. So I think this is going to be one of those. I mean, it's going to be. So I'm going to put little lingering hops. I'm getting that candy. I'm gonna have to look into that. So is it the floral? And I'm trying. And right now I'm blanking out what it's not a grape. I don't think it would be a grapefruit. Citrus. And when So in the mouthfeel, when I brewed it, I wanted a medium mouthfeel, and I think that's probably about right. I mean, it's not. It's not really like a watery. I mean, I can kind of get a little bit of that, but it's it's more nitpicking. So I want to say I probably did kind of hit the medium mouthfeel, the medium body. So I'm gonna say probably medium to light, kind of mid to light body, maybe. Again, which is I'm kind of so I don't know if that was because for me adding a little bit of extra water. If I had just let it go, which in hindsight I probably I just need to, unless it's way off. But I mean, I'm just gonna. I didn't need. There was no reason for me to top up, to be honest. I wanted to make sure I got 2.5 gallons into the keg. That'll be my notes. Do not top up. Top up. And so, but yeah, I'm pleased with the beer. I think. See, now I'm kind of. Yeah, it's. I say now I'm kind of like overanalyzing instead of just enjoying the beer. I said now I'm like, okay, I'm getting. It's a little bit more resiny now in the front, but and maybe my palate is finally adjusted. I didn't eat drink or anything before I ate lunch, but that was like an hour ago. So I'm not getting any of that vibe. So yeah, I think I'm gonna probably the carbonation. I mean, it's I have it at 12 psi, and I think that's probably what 2.5, 2.4. I mean, volumes. So I don't know if I really want to turn it up. Maybe I might. It is pouring when I do. It is pouring quick for my tap, so I don't know if I'm blowing a lot of the gas out. So because right now you don't really see, and it was kind of bubbling in the beginning, but it's kind of the combination is kind of died off, which I possibly maybe I'm getting kind of a little bit of the watery, the light body vibe to it. Yes, I'm gonna go top up. So I don't if I could have done been in the good old days of StreamYard, I would be playing my other video. I mean, but it is what it is. So I'll be back in a jiffy. Save my seat. Okay. Yeah. So see again, it's I because I got a full control on my tap. So I've towards the end I kind of slowed it down. So I think I'm hoping the next pour after this, oh, it would minimize. I won't get so much head, and and B, you might see a little bit more carbonation. It's there. It's just very fine bubbles. So I might put up to 14 psi maybe to experiment. But so, anyways, hoping everybody's having a good day. See, now that's way better. Still get, it's a little sweet. Still got that grapefruit. But yeah, I think that adding a little extra water kind of may have done me in. Of course, that 6% might have been. It might be a little bit higher than that. So this could be almost a IPA. But yeah, I was kind of, because I think I was supposed to finish off at 10-12 and then did 12. So I probably would, if I did the 10-12, so it would have been interesting to see what it would have been like. But like I said, I might add more water to it in the beginning. Definitely don't top up. Well, I think if I add more water in the beginning, like it's telling me to do now, I think I would definitely want to be topping up, so that would cure that. Only other thing I might do is when I mill my own grain, I might make a little bit. So I am putting a bag in my malt pipe now. I can maybe just tighten up the gap a little bit more, get a little bit more finer of a crush, and see if, because my brew house efficiency is 60 for this beer was 67. I want to get, and which isn't bad. I've had it worse, because I think that's the beer I just kegged today. The efficiency was 65. So I mean, I'm okay, but I want to at least be in the low 70s. So I think if I do a finer crush, I might be a little bit happier. Oh, I didn't finish those notes. But yeah, so anyways, hope everybody's enjoyed this, because I haven't done this in a while. Been busy with doing other things with life and as such. But yeah, I said I am pleased. I'm trying to get that color. Pleased with the color. I just somebody's burning something. I'm like, okay, what's on fire? Somebody's burning something, but I think we have a fire in it. So in the area. So now I think I'm getting all the smoke from that. But anyways, I'm digressing there. But yeah. I could have said, I'll change the hops. Probably use all Cascade, and I would add, because I have a 60-minute, 15-minute, and a flame out. I probably would do a 30-minute just to. I think that would bring up my the hop. I think, as I said, I don't have the flavor. I think I have more of the aroma and the bitterness kind of thing. So that'll be a slight tweak, but I'm happy as a clam with this. So anyways, that's it. So Jim, this is a 6.0. It's supposed to be a 5.6. Supposed to be kind of a mirror version of the Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. It is so it's a 6.0 attenuated out at 6.0. So I'm not saying it's not a bad thing, but I think it's so. And it's not, it basically, when I poured it, it had it had a big head, so it looks like it's lacing a lot, but it's just the head dissipating. Yeah, that's not too bad. Like I said, I think I just need a little bit more hop additions into it. Yeah, kind of thing. And it's probably the main thing. Cause I said I had an issue with the water, the amount of water, but I think I've solved that. And so, but yeah, anyways, yeah, cause you might, if you see me on Instagram, I had doing little small samples here, and I just, that looks a little bit more, and because like I said, a little bit more impressive because to me, so, um, no, I used, I used my tap water. I have used a carbon filter, a Camden tablet, and I let it kind of sit there for a couple of days. So trying to get that chlorine, whatever our water may have, just out of it. So, but yeah, I'll probably would use, maybe I'll use spring water next time because I think that my tap water is better for darker beers. So, but I wanted to try it. And I said, this one little try here and there. I'm writing my notes just like, so that way next time, when I brew this again, when I create it, like, so I'll write that spring water, or at least think about it. So, but yeah. Well, anyways, I wrapping things up. As I said, my next beer I have that's conditioning at the moment is a Kolsch. So, oops, I got a bug in there. So that's kind of what the color. I mean, it's a little hazy right now because I did use wheat, and so I did put biofine it and see, and it's gonna sit for. I probably won't be drinking this until close to Memorial Day. So, well, no, I said, yeah, why would I? I said I would tap it on. Well, I guess, yeah, probably a Memorial Day because I will probably start conditioning it on. So that's 15, 16. So yeah, probably the 16th. I'll probably be so the week before Memorial Day. I'll probably tap into that Kolsch. So I got almost a month to drink this. So, but anyways, but yeah. So stay tuned for another kind of homebrew review. Kind of, I don't know if I will do another video on it because I didn't really take any pictures or anything. So I'm kind of, so yeah, Jim, thanks. Uh, so yeah, so again, go to the Shark Brewing Adventures channel. Look me up there, and if, it's gonna be a little bit more of the home brewing tips and kind of. I will next week. I should be hanging out with Rob, and we're gonna be talking about the Big Brew, the American Homebrewers Association's Big Brew Day, which is basically gonna be May 2nd. Basically, everybody's gonna be brewing a beer, and the week before, next weekend, me and Rob, we're gonna talk about what beer, because there was 3 choices. We're gonna kind of go over why we picked that one and kind of go over the recipe, see if we're going to do anything different, kind of thing. So stay tuned for that. Until then, as I always say, drink up before you're attacked. Cheers, everybody.